We've explained ESG as an investment movement and also how hypocritical it is. But now we're doing a series to break it down. We talk about S in this episode. We've already covered E, and we'll, in a future episode, cover G. Then we'll break down how that really is attacking our liberties, and a preferred alternative is LSV, standing for Liberty, Security, and Values. Here's my question. What's in your portfolio? Social justice. It sounds so good and righteous. The only problem with it is how justice is defined. Now, America was built on the notion of individual liberty. We're supposed to be able to act and think for ourselves, ask questions, make personal decisions. Unfortunately, under the new social justice rules, such thoughts can be deemed racist or sexist. Any word or action that can be determined to be a microaggression is forbidden, even if it's completely unintentional. And it's a woke mob that serves as prosecutor, judge, and jury without you even getting the opportunity to speak for yourself. Clearly, there are real cases of racism and sexism, but a lot of the modern claims, they're nonsense, like claiming that babies are racist, or proper grammar is racist, or math is racist, or French food is somehow racist. Not long ago, you could just laugh off the bizarre claims, but no longer. Social justice has become institutionalized through ESG investing. The big managers, like BlackRock, now insist that companies adopt ESG, or they'll vote against management or even dump shares. In the case of social justice, the progressive left goes even further. They'll boycott or shame any company that fails to go along. And it doesn't matter how ridiculous the claim might be. No company wants to be labeled and identified. We've seen this where Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines turned on their home state of Georgia. The charge was made that asking for a voter ID was somehow racist. Just ignore that you have to show an ID to board a Delta airplane or to buy one of Coke's new hard seltzers. And just ignore the fact that the company executives couldn't explain why voter IDs were racist, or why a majority of black voters really want voter IDs in place to prevent election fraud. It's not about making sense. It's about obedience to the orthodoxy. And it's through this mechanism, which is clearly economic warfare, that the far left gets its way. The election law was passed properly through the political process, but the far left used American corporations and economic warfare to force their point. This is very powerful. If you don't agree with the far left, you could lose your job. We have a lot of people losing their liberties trying to defend their personal individual liberty, so they lose their jobs. Obviously, the vaccine mandate comes to mind, and that's an economic train wreck with deeply personal challenges. The weapon of choice is agree or lose your job. And if you lose your job, you might lose your retirement, not have access to unemployment, and be blackballed from work again. It wasn't supposed to be this way. We were supposed to have our freedom of conscience protected by the law. Sadly, the woke mob under the Biden administration is playing for keeps, and you need to be aware of what's happening.